YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with some news for the Washington Commanders headed into this week's matchup versus the New York Giants. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, tomorrow night, I will be going live on the channel at 7 p.m. with a special guest, Cameron Curl's father. So come through, watch the live stream. Come with your questions ready. This is the time to ask any questions you got about Cam. This is the closest thing we're going to get to talking to Cam Curl before we get to talk to Cam Curl, right? So come with y'all questions ready, man. I want to see each and every one of y'all come through the stream at 7 p.m. Come with your questions ready for Coach G. Curl, Cam Curl's dad. We can talk about Cam Curl's new possible contract, how he's feeling about the team, how is he feeling about everything. So please come through, support that. 7 p.m. I will be going live tomorrow with Cam Curl's father. So appreciate you guys. Now, with that out the way, let's get straight into today's video. So how are we feeling, ladies and gentlemen? We are coming off of a bye week where we pretty much won. Like, we didn't even play, but we pretty much won, right? Because we moved up 2 spots. We came into yesterday and the AFC. We leave out at the 6th seed, right? That's good. Okay. Now, let me address this right quick before we get any further into today's video. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, are talking about Washington will get drugged by the 49ers. I'm not saying that they're not good, okay? The 49ers are probably the best team in the NFC, behind maybe the Eagles. But the reason why I'm not as nervous as about the 49ers as I would have been originally is because we get a chance to see them before. And I'm going to make a separate video on this totally by itself if we do, in fact, play the 49ers. And again, you never know. This stuff could change. That's why I don't really, want to talk about things that, because in 3 weeks from now, we could either be the 7th seed or not even in the playoffs, right? So, but as of right now, Washington would be slated to play the 49ers. And the reason why I'm not as nervous is because we play them in the regular season, okay? So we'll get a look at them. And typically when teams play a team twice, they play much better against them the second time. So that's why I'm not much nervous, but they are really good. That defense scares me, okay? That defense scares me. That's why I would much rather face Minnesota, because I think we have a better chance to beat Minnesota. But at the same time, you can't be scared in the playoffs, bro. Because if you want to advance, you're going to eventually have to face the 49ers. So it's not like we can duck and dodge and pick who we want to face. We're going to have to eventually face them if we do, in fact, advance, and they advance too. So at some point, we will have to meet up with them in the playoffs. So I'm not ducking no smoke. And we got 2 opportunities to face these guys, okay? They just lost one of their cornerbacks for the rest of the year, Deebo Samuel. They say he could return in a couple weeks, but he sustained an injury too. They're playing with Brock Purdy, who's been playing well, and they got Chris Baker. Like, that team is good. I'm not sitting up here telling you they're not, and I'm not sitting up here telling you that I think we'll beat them in the playoffs, and I'm not scared. I'm not saying none of that. But what I'm telling you is I'm not scared of the 49ers to the point where, we're going to duck and dodge them, because at some point we will have to see them. Okay, so I'm not as nervous as a lot of other people are because we see them Christmas Eve. So we'll get a dose of the 49ers, okay? But back to today's video. We got a little bit of an injury update for you guys regarding Chase Young, Tyler Larson, and Carson Wentz. So let's start with center Tyler Larson. So as we know, Tyler Larson, he sustained yet another season-ending injury in the last contest that the Washington Commanders faced. As he now has a dislocated kneecap, and this is his second season-ending injury in 2 years, and that's the second injury to our backup centers, to both of our centers, season-ending injuries to our centers in 2 years. Chase Roulier got out last year. Tyler Larson came in, he got out last year, and then this year Chase Roulier gets out again with injury, and then now so is Tyler Larson. So man, we had bad luck with our centers, bro. So we definitely are needing help at that position. So Nick Martin is pretty much going to be the starter, right? But at some point, it's like maybe we got to work Wes Schweitzer back into the rotation, because we haven't seen Wes Schweitzer since week 5 or whatnot. And I know they're trying to slowly work him back from that concussion, but we are desperately needing depth there at the center position, man, because Tyler Larson was such a real stable guy. Like, he was one of the best backups in the NFL, man. He's a quality center, and he very well can start elsewhere. And losing him is going to be very, very tough. You remember the last time we lost him? earlier in the season versus the Eagles into the Cowboys game. That was very, very tough. That interior pressure was getting to Carson Wentz. Now, again, we lost him earlier in the season when we had Carson Wentz at the helm and not a mobile guy like Taylor Heinicke. So it definitely is going to make a difference. But needless to say, it's still a big, big, big adjustment. And it's definitely a big challenge because not only is the pass protection and the run blocking is a big issue. It's also the snap count. Like this isn't you're not replacing the guard, okay? You're not replacing a tackle. You're replacing the center. So the center has to make sure his snaps are right for Taylor Heinicke. You got to make sure you be able to protect. You got to make sure you be able to open up holes on the run game. Like you got to do so much as a center, call the protections and stuff like that. So the center has a really, really big job. And Nick Martin, he's not the worst, but I definitely feel way more comfortable with a Tyler Larson and or Chase Roulier. So that's a big blow. Next thing, some positive news, whether how you look at it or not. It is positive news, to me at least. Carson Wentz is being reactivated to the roster, and he will now back up Taylor Heinicke. Now, what does this mean for Taylor Heinicke? I think this means he's going to be the starter, but I know I know that this coaching staff at some point want to still try to get Wentz back out there. So they're going to be breathing on Taylor's neck, man. Any small mistake that he does, they're probably going to think about pulling him because if they were to do that without Carson Wentz being activated, you're putting in Sam Howell. And they had no thought, no idea, no curiosity to put this young fella in right now. They didn't want to do that. So it kind of gave Taylor room for error. And I think now with Carson Wentz being back, they may not provide that same kind of room. Hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully Taylor Heinicke can win these games and they give him room, but I feel like they still want to try with this Carson Wentz thing. And I really think it's dead. I think it's over with. I think Taylor Heinicke, he's the better quarterback, at least right now on the roster. So I definitely think Taylor Heinicke should be the guy. And I think he'll do a good job. I think he'll do a good job down these stretch, and he'll remain the starter, and Carson Wentz is there for a backup. Okay, I know y'all want to see Sam Howell. Y'all love the hype about Sam Howell, but I feel way more comfortable with Carson Wentz as my backup than Sam Howell, to be honest with you. So that's again, Carson Wentz is now reactivated to the active roster after sustaining that ring finger injury in week 6. And I'll be honest with you, man, that injury probably was a blessing in disguise because we probably don't be in this position if Carson Wentz is still the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. That, and on top of that, even if he was still stinking it up, they probably would decide to, bench him probably around this time, and it would probably be a little too late if that was the case. So I look at that ring finger injury for Carson Wentz as a blessing in disguise for us because Taylor Heinicke is the better quarterback right now. He's the better guy. He has the rock room, and he obviously is the better fit for this scheme and for what we're doing this year. So shout out to Taylor Heinicke, and Carson Wentz being the backup. I'm totally fine with that. And then now, the last thing we got to talk about, Chase Young. Okay, Chase Young update. It's not an official update. I just wanted to come on here and talk about him. He must play this Sunday. Okay, if he doesn't play this Sunday, I don't want to hear nothing else about Chase Young until 2023 because we were talking all these weeks prior to the bye week about, this may be the actual week he plays. This may be the actual week he plays. We keep hearing that from not just the beat reporters, but the national media. Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, a Washington star pass rusher who is looking good in practice, and he has a strong chance to play this week. Then you get to Saturday, and then it comes out Chase Young will not be playing. This is the week he plays. He had all these weeks to rest, to get mentally ready, and an extra week due to the bye. This is the week he plays. They talk about it not being the knee anymore. It's not the knee. It's the matter of Chase Young getting comfortable and being mentally able to go out there and play. Look, Chase, I totally understand it. I've never been to a serious injury like that, but I totally get it. You may be scared to go back out there and play, right? But the same analogy that I continue to use, the only way you're going to get over the fear of being scared to do something is doing it, okay? Case in point, when you first learn how to drive a car, you're scared to get out there on the road with all the other cars, but what gets you over that fear? You constantly do it. So we cannot have Chase Young just practice and hitting the dummies and expect that to be the reason or be the comfortability that he needs and confidence he needs to go out there and play. You gotta put him out there, okay? He has to play. If he wants to get over this mental hurdle that is stopping him from currently playing right now, he has to go out there and play. A couple guys got to fall down by that knee so he can realize, hey, man, it's ball over again. Ain't nothing wrong with my knee. My knee is good. He gets that confidence and swagger back. We're going to have our number 2 overall pick back, okay? So not a legitimate Chase Young update, but I'm coming on here making a record on Monday. I'm going out on a limb, okay? The report is going to come out later this week, but I'm going out on a limb saying Chase Young must play this week. I think he will play this week. I feel certain. But if he, in fact, doesn't play this week, this Sunday night versus the Giants, I don't want to hear nothing else about Chase Young until the next season. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, it's me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. And don't forget, tomorrow I'll be going live with Cameron Curl's father. So come with your questions for Coach G Curl. See you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.
Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you poppin', get you droppin'. Slide on the one where they get you locked on. I ain't stopping till I get me an automatic.